Before we start, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel and leave a comment with where you're from and what time you're watching. That way, YouTube will keep showing you stories just like this one. Now, let's begin. It was supposed to be the ultimate escape, the kind of vacation that only billionaires could imagine. A private island, all-inclusive luxury, and absolute privacy. The invitation had arrived in a sleek black envelope embossed with gold lettering. An exclusive experience awaits you at Crescent Isle Resort. The resort was on a private island off the coast of Maine. It's a place that promised untouched forests, pristine beaches, and the kind of isolation that made the wealthy feel untouchable. As the guests arrived, they were greeted by the island's staff, impeccably dressed, eerily silent, their smiles polite but too fixed, too rehearsed. The island itself was breathtaking, a grand mansion perched on cliffs overlooking the Atlantic, with modern villas tucked among the trees. A marina held yachts worth more than most small countries' GDPs, and a helipad ensured that no one would ever feel stranded. The first night was exquisite. Candlelit dinners, the finest wines, and orchestral music drifting through the air. The guests' den of the wealthiest men and women in the country mingled. Unaware of the glances they were receiving from the staff, the ones that lingered a second too long. By the second day, things started to feel off. A mist rolled in from the ocean, unusually thick for Maine. Walkways that seemed familiar yesterday now twisted into unfamiliar turns. Some guests reported hearing whispers carried by the wind, but the staff always dismissed it as a trick of the fog. Late that evening, the island's owner, a reclusive billionaire named Ezekiel Thorne, appeared. He was tall, thin, and had a presence that made everyone suddenly aware of themselves. He welcomed them warmly, praising their accomplishments, their power, their influence, but his words carried a strange undertone, almost like a warning. He invited everyone to a special gathering at the main hall, promising an experience unlike any they had ever had. The main hall was enormous, decorated with dark mahogany, chandeliers that glimmered with a sinister light, and paintings of unknown figures that seemed disturbingly lifelike. Ezekiel explained the purpose of the gathering. This island thrives because it has been blessed. But such blessings demand a sacrifice. Every decade, a chosen few must give themselves to ensure the prosperity of those who remain. And this year, the island has chosen you. Laughter rang out, at first nervous disbelieving, but it died quickly as the doors slammed shut. Panic spread. The staff now moved with an unnatural precision, guiding some guests toward rooms that had no windows, where the walls seemed to whisper. Others were led down narrow corridors into chambers lined with strange symbols carved deeply into the stone floors. By nightfall, screams echoed across the island. The ocean outside seemed to respond, waves crashing violently as if enraged by the events inside. Some guests tried to escape through the beach, but the helicopters had been grounded and the yachts were mysteriously missing. Trapped, the billionaires realized the horrifying truth. This was no ordinary ritual. Ezekiel and the staff were part of an ancient society, one that had been performing these sacrifices for centuries, hidden from the world. One guest, Margaret Lane, a tech mogul, tried to hack the island's security system. What she found made her blood run cold. Live feeds of all the guests, some already in rooms filled with unidentifiable shapes moving in the shadows. Symbols began to glow faintly on the floors and walls, pulsing like a heartbeat. Each symbol seemed to resonate with the very island itself, as if it was alive, feeding on their fear. As hours dragged on, the line between reality and nightmare blurred. Some guests claimed they saw figures standing on the cliffs, watching silently. Others whispered about shadowy hands that reached from the darkness, pulling them toward rooms they couldn't resist entering. Sleep became impossible, replaced by visions of fire, blood, and the ocean boiling with unknown creatures. By dawn, only a few remained conscious. Margaret and another guest, Victor Hale, a real estate tycoon. discovered a hidden passage beneath the Maine hollow labyrinth of catacombs that seemed to stretch endlessly. Every turn was a new horror. Bones embedded in the walls, murals depicting sacrifices spanning centuries, and faint chanting that seemed to follow them no matter where they went. In the center of the catacombs, they found Ezekiel, surrounded by a circle of candles, chanting words in a language neither understood. At the center of the circle was a pitted, dark void that seemed to absorb light itself. "Join willingly," Ezekiel commanded, "or the island will choose for you." Margaret and Victor attempted to fight back, but the shadows rose from the pit, moving with a will of their own. Friends disappeared into the darkness, their screams cut abruptly, swallowed by the void. The air grew thick, suffocating, as if the island itself was alive and hungry. The final moments were a blur. Margaret thought she felt Victor being pulled into the pit. She ran, chased by whispers that promised safety only if she gave herself willingly. Reaching the cliffs, she looked back the mansion, the forest. The ocean itself seemed to twist unnaturally. The island had claimed them all. She escaped in a small lifeboat, adrift as the sun rose over the Atlantic. Behind her, Crescent Isle Resort appeared normal, serene, untouched by the horrors of the night. But in the distance, faint lights flickered from the cliffs, and the whispers followed her over the waves. The island was patient. It would call again. And next time, it would not be the billionaires who chose. It would be the island.